Donald Trump taking aim at the press last night, criticizing efforts to confirm Trump's claims of making nearly $6 million in donations to veterans groups.
But I will say that the press should be ashamed of themselves. And on behalf of the vets, the press should be ashamed of themselves. They are calling me and they are furious because I send people checks of a lot of money, and I'm going to give you the names right now, which is what you want. And instead of being like, thank you very much, Mr. Trump, or Trump did a good job, everyone say, who got it, who got it, who got it? And you make me look very bad. I have never received such bad publicity for doing such a good job.
Ashley Bell is an elected RNC delegate from Georgia. He'll be casting his ballot for Donald Trump at the convention in July. Ashley, nice to see you in person. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let's talk about what we just saw a part of. If people were watching yesterday, the last time we saw Donald Trump in public was this real fiery news conference where he went very personal against some reporters. He talked about other Republicans. People who back him in the primary may love this kind of rhetoric from him. They certainly love the press bashing. But I guess my question is, doesn't he need to move a little toward the middle to get all the folks that are in that middle area on the fence? And is he really going to get them with that kind of talk?
You know, I wasn't one of those folks that didn't support him in the primary. I was with Marco Rubio. But I can tell you, he's bashing the press is a popular thing to do in the Republican primary. It's a part of his brand. It's a part of his playbook. But I don't think it's going to get him where he wants to go. I appreciate his directness about it, but nobody's going to pat you on the back for doing good deeds like supporting the vets. It was a great thing that he did, but the press is never going to give you a round of applause.
Well, they're going to fact check. No matter who it is, we're going to fact check what you say. Clinton has been on a bit of a Twitter tirade this afternoon. She's been really picking on Donald Trump over this issue of Trump University and the new documents that have come out. Earlier this afternoon, she tweeted, quote, "The Trump University con says a lot about Trump. If you can't trust him with your personal finances, how can we trust him with our country?" What about that question?
Was that Hillary or Marco Rubio? Who said that? I don't know.
It was Hillary Clinton on her own personal Twitter feed, I believe.
Well, it's straight out of the playbook of Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. The problem is we played that, run that play. We didn't score. It didn't work. So I don't know if it's going to get any more legs. The new evidence is going to be interesting to see the actual words of Donald Trump, but it didn't get us anywhere in the primary, and I'm not sure Americans really care that much about it.
You don't think Americans care that the insinuation is that he defrauded people out of money, that he sold a bill of goods to people who were in dire straits, people who weren't making a lot of money?
If a judge rules and a jury rules that he frauded those people out of money, it's going to be a bad day for Donald Trump and the Republican Party. But everybody knows how litigation works. This is a process, and Hillary Clinton has to understand that she has to respect the process. We'll see what happens, but right now it's just litigation. I'm a lawyer, so I can tell you a lot of people say a lot of things before they get in front of a jury.
Let me ask you about John Kerry, because we just had sound we played a few minutes ago. Secretary Kerry interviewed by Chris Hayes this afternoon, my colleague and friend, and he was asked about this idea that President Obama said that Donald Trump is rattling world leaders. Secretary Kerry said, well, we're not going to do a Trump hotel business deal. These are dealings between nations based on precedent, based on understandings, based on trust from one administration to another. He's suggesting that Donald Trump does not understand the gravity of world politics.
Now, this is serious. And so for me, this is where I hope that Donald Trump looks at someone like a Bob Corker, Senator Corker out of Tennessee, to be his running mate, someone who gets it. Donald Trump's comments about Japan and South Korea getting a nuclear weapon, that worries a lot of people. No one wants, me included, no one wants more countries with more nuclear weapons. Someone like Bob Corker could go in there and say, look, you know, I support non-proliferation. We need less countries with a nuclear bomb, and that would really help a lot of people ease a lot of concerns about Donald Trump. So he'd be a #1 pick for me on foreign policy for VP.
And yet you're still going to support Trump at the convention. Yes? The last time we spoke, you said you're casting your ballot for him.
I am a Republican. My district voted for Donald Trump, so I'm going to cast a vote to all the people.
You also said you weren't sure about who you will personally vote for. You sure yet?
I'm going to support the nominee. I just got to hope. I got to help this nominee as much as I can to support Republican values.
Nice to see you, Ashley Bell. Thanks so much.
Good to see you.
Up next, we head out to